DC has officially announced a new universe coming to their comics world. Called the Absolute Universe, this will spin off of the event going on right now, Absolute Power. This is basically going to be DC's attempt at doing the Ultimate Universe. Something they have tried and failed to do in the past multiple times with the All-Star line and Earth 1, and there are probably others that exist as well. The main universe, the main multiverse, is built on the constant that is Superman and his energy. Every universe has a Superman. The architect for the Absolute Universe is Scott Snyder, who said that this universe will be built on Darkseid energy, making every hero more of an underdog. It'll all start in the DC All-In Special, which is by Snyder, Joshua Williamson, Rafa Sandoval, and Wes Craig. This is coinciding with the greater DC initiative, All-In, allowing for there to both be these new, riskier stories and classic Prime Earth stuff. But first, let's look at some of DC's previous attempts to do this. The All-Star line flamed out after just 2 books. While it wasn't shared universe, it's supposed to be a place for high-level creators to mess around with DC's biggest characters without worrying about continuity. All-Star Superman is widely considered to be one of, if not the best Superman book of all time. But it was Batman that failed. Batman by Frank Miller and Jim Lee. Sounds like an easy way to print money and awards. The series was panned for its harsh take on Batman, like him using the R word and feeding Dick Grayson rats, and also just how it treated its female characters, and did a ton of ridiculous stuff like Batman and Robin painting themselves yellow and drinking lemonade so that Green Lantern couldn't harm them. And to this day, that comic is unfinished. Earth 1 was another alternate universe. This one told in graphic novels instead of single-issue comics. It once again brought high-level talent to these characters, with Jeff Johns and Gary Frank doing Batman, Grant Morrison on Wonder Woman, and J. Michael Straczynski on Superman. There are also books for Green Lantern, Teen Titans, and cancelled Aquaman and Flash books, and that, alongside delays, meant this universe died out slowly. But this, the Absolute Universe, is a big deal because there's just so much talent attached. Scott Snyder coming back to write Batman, and they're rumored to bring in some of Marvel's powerhouses, like Al Ewing and Denise Camp. This is what DC needs. Something on the side where talent can do whatever they want without worrying about the status quo. Because the status quo of comics requires characters to always come back to where they started, making growth and risk-taking pretty difficult at times. It also provides something for readers new and old. New readers who want to start reading a bit about a character but are intimidated by the sheer number of comics published in a character's history. And for old readers, it provides a breath of fresh air into characters who have been around for decades and have already gone through so many tropes and types of stories. And okay, so which characters are getting books for this universe? Well, of course you have the Trinity with Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Those are the confirmed ones. But there are other books rumored but unannounced for traditional Justice Leaguers like Flash, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, and probably Aquaman. But each of these characters will have their own twist that separates them from their main universe counterpart. So let's look at the premises and creative teams for each of these books. Absolute Batman. Scott Snyder made his name writing the New 52 Batman run that included modern classic stories like The Court of Owls. He has also written Batman Black Mirror, The Metal events, and numerous horror comics. So he's co-created iconic characters like The Court of Owls, The Batman Who Laughs, alongside others like Duke Thomas and Harper Row. He's probably the most well-known modern Batman writer at this point and has rightfully earned that title. Ever since the conclusion of Dark Knight's death metal, he's taken a bit of a break from doing superhero comics. So it's been 3, almost 4 years since he last wrote one, which is quite a long time in comics these days. Nick Dragotta, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, is known for his work with Jonathan Hickman on East of West and doing some of Hickman's X-Men as well. And so this is what he looks like. He is jacked. He looks like what would happen if Bane became Batman, being stupidly huge and with an insane amount of muscle. Like he looks like he ate Earth Prime's Batman first. Basically, he's got my build. He does have something that extends a bit from his neck, so maybe he is taking in venom. But overall, this looks like a Batman who prioritizes protection with these large shoulder pads, heavy pieces of armor. Through leaks, we have seen him in action, using his cape as a weapon, extending the length of his arms both for combat and to move around like stilts. And then there is his symbol, which is hardly a symbol at all. It's basically a rectangle with 4 little triangles. 4 little triangles.
What the hell? Oh my god!
Taking what The Dark Knight Returns did to another level. This look is definitely a departure from what Batman normally looks like, but what works is that you can look at it and still tell hey, that's Batman, it still has that recognizability, which is important for alt-universe comic designs. It's a powerful, dangerous looking Batman, and really gives us a Batman who looks scary again, which is perfect for Snyder's horror background. On this promo art, he does look less scary and more just weird. But that piece isn't drawn by Dragotta, who will be the primary artist, who makes the character look much more intimidating. We also have a leak showing an older character, who appears to be someone familiar with weapons and also drives a motorcycle. The speculation has been that he could be the assassin Deathstroke or Batman's mentor, Henry Ducard. But I think this is going to be this universe's take on Alfred. In All-Star Batman, Snyder showed a very badass Alfred, who had a background in MI5. He also was the one who gave Alfred a shotgun, so it would line up with some of Snyder's previous takes on Alfred. He also isn't shown attacking Batman or the gang Batman stops, just observing, so being Batman's lookout would make sense. But the official synopsis of Absolute Batman says, this is a Batman without money, without a mansion, and without the butler. But I still think this could very well be Alfred, just not as a butler. While it is a bit disappointing that Snyder is just doing Batman again, he's still a proven talent. Him going back to DC is a big deal, and given how much of the mainline he's written, it makes sense to have him as a lead on a big new universe, where he can really tap into something different. Absolute Superman. Jason Aaron and Rafa Sandoval will be working on Absolute Superman. Aaron wrote the Thor book that has pretty much redefined the character for modern audiences, bringing in Gore and Jane Foster as Thor. He's won many awards for his writing on the indie tale Southern Bastards, and has written celebrated runs on Ghost Rider, Doctor Strange, and Star Wars. He also recently wrote Superman in Action Comics for what his take on the main Superman would look like. And currently, he's going to be writing the new Ninja Turtles reboot, an Uncle Scrooge comic, and Conan the Barbarian. Sandoval has been around for a bit, and he's done some pretty cool looking art, doing some recent work on Action Comics with the team before Aaron, and also did the Death of Justice League issue. Definitely excels on big action and sci-fi, so he fits well given that this Superman looks like he's leaning more into that sci-fi angle. Superman, but more like an alien, was the rumored description, and the official one seems to line up with that idea pretty well. It states that this story will be about a Superman with no Fortress of Solitude, no family, and no home. So with this storyline and look, it looks like we're heading to a more emo Superman. And this look, the longer hair, the 5 o'clock shadow, the dude is worn down. His suit looks like the Man of Steel one as far as the lines and the lack of belt/trunks. And he's also got a collar that's pretty reminiscent of the New 52 suit. And then he's got that cape and gauntlets. But unlike anything we've seen before, it appears they're made out of energy. Maybe it could be related to dark side energy, I kinda doubt that. But yeah, his suit's definitely more alien or sci-fi. How can this downtrodden Superman, an alien, become a symbol of hope without his family? Will there still be the Kents or a Lois Lane? Someone who will be his connection to humanity, be the one that forges him into a hero. Hopefully this isn't a full, edgy, grounded Superman, because those stories don't tend to be very good. Absolute Wonder Woman. Kelly Thompson is currently writing an amazing Birds of Prey book with DC right now, and has also done an Eisner-nominated Hawkeye and a very fun Black Widow. But most importantly, she co-created Jeff the Land Shark, arguably the greatest comic creation of the past 20 years. Yeah, that's right, Miles. She's pretty much written every major female superhero at this point, so it makes sense to finally get to the biggest. Hayden Sherman is pretty new, only having done some Harley Quinn and some indie books. But the art looks great on all of those and has a unique look. This Wonder Woman is rumored to be like an archaeologist. In many ways she would be like Lara Croft, except she also has a Buster sword. So we may be getting our most badass Wonder Woman ever. Her costume looks a lot like the New 52 costume with the silver instead of gold, except this one also has a tattoo and pants? Oh my goodness, pants on Wonder Woman. Surely there's never been controversy around that. The official tagline reads, a Wonder Woman without the Amazons, without the mascara, without the mission for peace. That seems to be the theme for the Absolute Universe. A universe without the main components that raise the heroes into the people they are. And here we have her riding a mean-looking, red-eyed Pegasus. So yeah, definitely not looking like an agent of peace. And she also hasn't been shown with the lasso of truth yet, so I'm curious if that will ever pop up, or if they're fully leaning into the warrior aspect. This was kind of done in New 52, but with mixed results. So hopefully under a better writer like Kelly Thompson, this could work out better. There's a space for a meaner, tougher Wonder Woman. A warrior to contrast against a diplomat. And there's so much possibility to explore with the idea of an agent of peace carrying a massive Buster sword and being a fierce warrior. What is her mindset in this world? Because she is still an Amazon, she's still an outsider. I'm interested in seeing how this Wonder Woman plays into the mythological components. One thing the New 52 tended to do was take Wonder Woman away from urban environments. But here she is, riding a Pegasus over a cityscape. It would be pretty cool to see her use that Buster sword against powerful enemies within a city. The Absolute Universe definitely looks like it's playing around with some fun ideas, especially when it comes to symbols. This is a world built off evil, and now these symbols of justice, hope, and peace have to rise and find their place in it without the supporting settings and characters we are used to. There's so much to explore, and I'm so excited. The remaining books and creators have still yet to be confirmed. The San Diego Comic-Con is happening soon, so if they are announced there, expect a part 2 to this. This also might be the design for the Absolute Flash, but it also could just be a new look for Wally. If it is the Absolute Flash, I'll talk about it later. In the meantime, what are your guys' thoughts on the Absolute Universe and these books? Tell me in the comments down below. Thank you for watching.